In 2020, the artificial intelligence industry entered a frantic sprint. Laboratories were locked in a race to achieve massive scale and capture consumer attention as quickly as possible. The dominant culture prioritized speed over rigorous testing. The goal was to ship immediately, grow the user base, and address any failures after the systems were already in the wild. Inside OpenAI, this approach created a schism. A faction of researchers, led by siblings Dario and Daniela Amodei, began to question the long-term risks of this rapid deployment strategy. They were concerned that if safety protocols were treated as a secondary concern, the models would eventually produce large-scale misinformation or display biases that would be nearly impossible to excise from a finished product. Their disagreement was less about the technology itself and more about the incentives. They argued that a standard commercial structure would inevitably favor market speed over the slow, difficult work of ensuring a model is truly aligned with human safety. In late 2020, the Amodeis and 5 of their colleagues resigned. They left the most prominent AI lab in the world to test a different hypothesis. They believed safety could not be a post-launch filter. Instead, it had to be woven into the code during the initial training phase. They founded Anthropic in 2021. The new laboratory was built on a single objective: to develop AI systems that are helpful, honest, and harmless. While their peers were releasing tools to the general public, Anthropic focused on internal research. They delayed major public deployments, opting to keep their models in a controlled environment for testing. Anthropic was an attempt to change the trajectory of the industry by proving that a more cautious, research-driven approach could still produce a capable model. Most companies fix AI behavior through manual human moderation. They hire thousands of workers to review and label bad responses so the machine can learn to avoid them. Specific set of core ethical principles. These rules act as a permanent framework that the AI must refer to for every response. The AI corrects its own behavior. It critiques its initial responses based on its constitution and revises them until they meet its internal safety standards, with minimal human intervention. By making ethics a part of the training cycle, Anthropic created a model that is more predictable and easier to control than systems patched by humans after training. Even with safer code, a company's mission is only as stable as its board of directors. If investors prioritize a quick exit, they can often pressure a company to cut corners on safety. To prevent this, Anthropic incorporated as a public benefit corporation. This legally requires their leadership to balance shareholder profit with their stated mission to build responsible AI. They also added an additional layer of oversight, the Long-Term Benefit Trust. This is an independent body that will eventually have the power to select a majority of the board of directors. The structure is designed to limit the influence of large financial investors. It prevents a scenario where external stakeholders could force the company to abandon its safety research in favor of market dominance. Anthropic attempted to align its legal foundation with its technical mission, creating a company structure that is resistant to traditional commercial pressures. The question for the rest of the industry was whether this focus on safety would limit Anthropic's ability to grow. By 2024, the market provided an answer. This graph shows Anthropic's revenue growth since its founding. In less than 3 years, the company reached a reported $1 billion annual revenue pace, driven largely by businesses that were willing to pay for reliable API access. By early 2026, their valuation reached an estimated $350 billion, supported by massive investments from cloud providers like Amazon and Google. While other labs focused on consumer chat, Anthropic focused on the enterprise. They realized that large organizations prioritize reliability and security over social media virality. Companies in highly regulated sectors like finance and healthcare began adopting Claude specifically because its safety framework reduced the legal risks associated with AI-generated errors. Claude's ability to handle complex coding and document analysis without breaking its internal rules made it a preferred choice for corporate workflows. For these high-stakes users, safety isn't an obstacle to the product, it is the product. They are willing to pay a premium for a system that is less likely to produce a public error or a legal liability. Anthropic's trajectory shows a shift in how value is being determined in the AI market. As these systems become integrated into global infrastructure, predictability is becoming a requirement for enterprise adoption. The company's growth suggests that safety research may be more than an ethical choice. For the organizations running the modern economy, trust is becoming a primary commercial requirement.